Doing fine. How are you? Hey, when both me and my wife can find a week that works for both of us to leave on vacation, we're gonna take it. I said when both me and my wife can find the week that works for both of us to leave on vacation, have to take it. It only took looking through like 2 months to find a week that worked.
We could just get our family together with our boys and their kids. It's like we'll find anything. I got it there.
Well, maybe sure we'll have more. She's moderating. Don't let, she will not. She was. You can do chance. I've got an update for you. All the way. Oh. I talked to our machines needs, and it's not in good shape, so. We just need to, very young people. There they are. 3 minutes early.
What happens when the sits in the truck and lets you finalize it?
I've got a.
Fix it out there, phone. Have you already done it?
Yeah, we would. How y'all doing? We got the last one.
Well, my queen today, from the split, I do a split.
Usually they show.
Well, so I thought they supported that. It is too deep. I can't see what this one.
Yeah, we marked it right.
And my
There you have it. There's Tom. Wait, you look at big, early. They're oh, we can file on it, we're mad, there's no next round. We can blame somebody. Well, the easiest thing. The easiest thing. I had some spill queens that turn the dirt, they just drive your motion, drive you crazy. These are just have some sugar water there. You spray it down, they gotta clean themselves off. And if they really get this, then you ground it up. See the end of it. I'll tell you, pull my hand up there tomorrow.
You're not showing up. I was like.
You know what? No, I gave mine away. We have a 12-inch. With a roll out card. I had used it for 2 years. Person that borrowed the last 12 months. Yeah, how much? The day I'm gonna. But I want something on. I want to go up today. I didn't. Just. Well, I actually feel comfortable. I'm not borrowing several times. I called him up and said, you want it? You want it? I had a table saw like that. I got the footings. You need that. So I said, we have a 45-minute special. I'll load it. Otherwise, we don't forget about load it. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I got everything built, and then I bought a 7-4-inch. Actually, I had a 7-4-inch plug-in, and I really liked it, but I wanted to have it. Initially, I did not like it back. I bought a Milwaukee bag. Problem. Yeah. Well, most are. I like to stay probably get up here. So why would we ask about the tractor? But why don't we ask about the tractor? What is the tractor? Well, it's radial intended for combine. Did you understand what I said about sour? We don't need no sour. There's not enough. You can tell. Goldenrod now, that's a model for the second thing. Well, I just, I was, oh, there it is. Well, only the comment I'll make is you change the format. Oh, he's out of the wheelchair.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Upright.
I know that. They're still. Transfer contract. Sell the order. It's really hard to get finances. Well, Biden seems to be the only one.
Or tonight.
I would like to keep going. Oh, I guess okay. I don't know. I'm not having a good day. I'm not having a good day. Means I don't sleep. I'm allergic to most everything. They give me something that's supposed to go with the knee pain, but I can't sleep. So it's the knee pain keeps me from sleeping. The drugs keep me from sleeping. But,
My doctor gave me a hard time minutes to sleep. Thank goodness, I got neuropathy.
also now, because of my knee, my left shoulder is bent over, from pressing my arms. And
Everything's got.
I'm just picking up that. And I just, sometimes I don't care about it.
Chronic pain sucks.
Huh?
Chronic pain sucks.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm 60, I had rods put in my back. So I have arthritis in the bottom of my back. What's that?
At least my youngest law is but karma's still a problem. The other day I caught her out there. Good front. I said, you need to pick a really precise date. You can get it over the heads. 12:30 the next morning, there was an altercation in the patio. And I went out there and she was sitting there guarding her turtle from the other fly who she brought it in to show it off. He wanted it, you know.
How our Labradors go get turtles.
Anyway, I took it away from her. So Sunday, I heard her out there working. Next time I came to longer, the turtle was on its back.
Oh, no.
They gave us those new pipes. We count. The wipers. I don't know what's right for my hand. I was having a camera make a hole. I did 2 of them. I went in the back, got some produce out, and put them in there. I know how to do it, but I
Sounds like a beginning. How the people praise.
But apparently they said 5 back with the first. I know it was one time before or whatever, and I'm like, I think I'm next Mine were so, well, you know, I like that. It was so big, I couldn't find it. There was 2, I mean, it won't be on the eggs. Gotta be there somewhere. Gotta be there somewhere, or there's a way. Now, and the day before, the night before, I couldn't find it. Hannah went through it the next day, 6 months. And she showed it. So a week later, we're at another month, and Hannah knows that the queens in another eye, we're not. So next week, we got way down. So what happened was that queen left that hive, went to the. I just, I've seen all praise.
So do you have holes in your supers? You have to go in,
Do what?
you have holes in your supers?
No, I don't know if this one did or not. A lot of them do. The thing with the toy rushers.
Right.
Queen slippers, like right. Fancy.
Yeah.
Where it is false. Some of them still is good. Doesn't mention anything about Marilla myself.
I don't know. It's not on the, it's not in the. Oh, if it's yet, forgot it.
I've never seen it in here recently. I'm seeing this up here and I go back. Logged into the Facebook page, you're the beast.
My Facebook doesn't update since last year. It's the last thing I see.
One, it's a few. It's soon. No, it was not in the email. I'm looking at one from February and it says. Wait, me and see back.
Never mind, I can't even get to the internet.
Go to, settings and there should be.
Oh, there's a-
Yes. And that's what that's the.
Down. We're right out.
You know how rolled egg and then there's a double.
Yeah, we have. They don't, they say, I can actually.
Are they really? It's not trees.
Some of the.
Okay, folks, so we're waiting for you to get started. We're just going short. If you haven't had a chance, if you want to take a chance, you're wrapping off the extractors, like proceeds going to Nash County. Feel free to buy all the applications for. Have a credit card, we go back there.
That's fine.
I'm just saying, anybody that wants to take a chance on the raffle, get it now while we're waiting to get started. If you would like. And we have a credit card reader set up, so go spin and do your next.
You keep me the tag on Facebook every week. Yeah. And I think I need. I have one, but I'm not sure what have that is. And I know my meeting is on. Because it's on, and I'm looking at it, and it was March. No, it's and a lot of people have and no families and no eggs. So I can see and I did have 3 emergency visas. That was about yes, they're not there, but there could be a little bit in there. But she is visa ready. I'm not sure it's gone out yet. I'm trying to look for it, but she didn't look. That was what it was. And I was right.
Yeah, hey, how are you? Good to see you.
And then in my other side, my number is not there, so there's a fraud. So she is so late, but then I just did all the reason for the next to the picture. And I'm not even sure which one. But they said my birth had a little back, and they think my feet is the one that's I do. So.
All right, excuse me just a minute, everybody. Can I get your attention?
Okay, yeah. I live right on the bottom.
This way I don't have to follow. So, sorry, I was a little bit sorry to get here tonight. Brenda's done a real good job of working with image builders over the side of Clayton. We've got some order sheets, we're ordering shirts and hats. There's been several asking for long sleeve. We did not do any long sleeve at this point. She will be contacting the lady back over in the building to talk about long sleeves also. Too loud? How about that? Sorry, thank you. Yeah, I would need to use the mic. So if you don't have an order form, this is an order form. If you don't have an order form, let me know and I'll bring you one. I'll be right there. We'll do multiple orders, but I'll bring you this and you can write your name, your phone number, and circle what you want and come see me and pay for it, and we'll get it on order for you. Okay? So if you want an order form, let me know and I'll get it passed out to you.
All those items, does everybody all have budget? Johnston County.
They're going to have an embroidered logo, Johnston County, DC.
Okay, everybody, thank you for coming tonight. Everybody, to get everybody's attention, we're going to take pledge of allegiance and we'll get this thing started. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So again, thank you all for coming. Tonight's going to be a roundtable discussion, question and answer based on our B school that we had back in February. Mindy Harrison, this was her first year heading that up. I see a lot of y'all attended the school. I'm glad y'all are still with it. We're going to have a number of folks up on the panel, and I'm going to turn it over to Mindy.
It has a lot of faith in me. For those of you that are coming back from B school, thank you so much for coming back and attending that club meetings and stuff. I want to ask if the teachers of some of the sections and the breakout leaders can come up and help us out. Okay, I'll go by name. There you go, Ken. Conroy he was a presenter. Conroy's not all around the microphone. And then Miss Terry. John, you want to come up here? He's counting on his arm. Al, I'd like for you to stay close because I know you were. Miss Terry, I'm sorry. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We got a chair. I saved your seat. Yes, we saved your special seat. Jennifer Keller was one of our presenters in B school, but she is actually, is she a new I don't think she is, but she was from the NC State B school, and so we did invite her to come in and present for that. Conroy was another presenter. He's the one around the microphone tonight. If you have any questions or comments or anything, please raise your hand. He'll get to you. Who else? And Miss Hema is not here with us. She was a presenter as well. Who else? I think that's it. All right, so.
Y'all need to buy more tickets. I don't need to buy any. I buy the exact.
The comment was, please buy more tickets. Anybody's interested in the extractor there, it's $1 a ticket. And I'm like, well, not tonight, or is it gonna be? The proceeds go to Ash County. Is it tonight or is it?
We give it away tonight.
It's tonight, so the draw is tonight. Okay, all right. All right, so to start with B school, it was Saturday, February the 22nd, 23rd, it's right around the end of February, the last Saturday in February. We had about 47 attendees. There were, I think, 51 or 52 people that signed up, and then we had about 17 or 18 club members and other people associated with these that came to help out. So we got that ratio to about 1 every 2 to 3 people. So we had a lot of people around to talk, ask questions, discuss things with whatever you need there. That's kind of the reason we had a lot of people. We have an Excel file with feedback. We're gonna get to that. We did a couple of different things this year. We had, along with our regular curriculum, some of the feedback was that, I'm gonna summarize it here, because it was a little boring. But in order to offer the B school and have an option for the B school attendees to become certified beekeepers, we have to present by the NC State Beekeepers Association. We have to present their curriculum, right? So there are some parts that are going to be, I'm not gonna say they're not applicable, but maybe a little less interesting than equipment or how you handle the bees, manage the bees, or seasonal management and stuff like that. But we do need to cover that. You're gonna see it on the test, one, you become a certified beekeeper. And then again, that has to be offered that way in order to be eligible to attend or to sit for that exam. So that was kind of one of the feedbacks that we got a little bit. One of the different things we did was we had breakout sessions, okay? So the breakout sessions were equipment, Mr. Daniel did that. We had a, like a hands-on part that Mr. Kent did. And then, I'll say everybody, that's Kent, Daniel's with the microphone. And then Miss Terry over there, she did like a club resources section. So, if y'all don't mind, I got your microphone right there. The three of y'all just kind of go over what you thought of your breakout session. Did you receive any individual feedback while you were in there?
My name is Daniel, I did the equipment one, so I had fun, so mine was pretty good, because those people at that point hadn't even gotten their bees yet, nor their equipment, so they were just interested in getting equipment, so I had a fun, easy one, so mine's pretty good today.
Daniel was very loud.
It's easy to be loud.
Yes, it is. I'm Kent Porter. I did the A3 breakout session, so we went out to the master gardener area up front where our horizontal hive have to be. So anyway, we have a horizontal hive out there, moves up and down. And I believe the ones, everybody, if you want here for the class, raise your hand so I see what kind of number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, okay. So most of you were here, most of you got to come out to the breakout session. We opened up the hive, looked in the hive, and kind of had some hands-on, some lookies, what a frame looks like, eggs on the roof, foods. Really, the only feedback that we got off that was how we described our horizontal hive. And we're trying to educate ourselves to be a little more,
guess, politically correct with the way we describe our parking. The Ag Center describes it the way we do
That, so, what Mr. Candace is discussing is one of the feedback was, calling it a handicap driver versus, just accessible or disabled or using another descriptive word. As of right now, because we are using the county's land, equipment, et cetera, we have to go by their standards and their, what word, I guess, so sorry, I'm just waiting, but they're pretty much so. Right now, this is kind of what we have to do, we're kind of bound by their rules and regulations within the county. So that's what Mr. Kent's referring to, and we'll get to that here in a minute. And Ms. Terry, I'm sorry.
Terry Main guy, and I was at the resource table, and mostly at my table, it was extraction equipment, extractor, the tools to extract, and also I presented the program for the mentorship and be a mentor. And I got great response for the mentoring and mentorship program, and I think people are generally very interested in the extraction equipment. But yeah, it's going to come.
John's is up here to answer questions.
All right, with that being said, all right, so I don't have a copy of the sheet. We had 4 levels. You were very happy, and then did one, and then disappointed, right? So we had 23 that were very happy, and 1 that was kind of happy. So that's just, overall, like, how did you feel about the school? Okay. Some of the others, what we like, we have, it's a lot of good information, and most of it was about information and presenters and stuff like that. It was a hands-on presentation, so Mr. Cannon, thank you for that. Thank you for that. You got commented on the comments, saying that it was good. So, somebody said, what was talked about, Ken Porter. I'm sorry, y'all probably can't see this, but saying that you gave the best class or something like that. I thought that was interesting. We did get some feedback that said people were actually excited about the breakout sessions. So, and for those of you that weren't here, there were 20-minute sessions, and we divided the class up into 3 groups. So we had Ms. Terry was over with the resources, Daniel was in the back with equipment, and then Kent took folks outside to look at some of the stuff in the area. And then we just rotated between those 3. The one feedback that Ms. Terry received, I think, was that this is where I laughed that Daniel is loud because he was there, Ms. Terry was over here, and she's very quiet and he's very loud. And, make sure we're gonna have to kind of maybe figure out a different arrangement so that everybody can hear Ms. Terry. So that was a little bit of feedback, and we'll take care of that next year. Kind of figure out, I'm not sure what that's gonna look like yet, but we'll figure that out. One thing we did have, we had tables that had multiple people, and we had, again, I said our kind of helpers to the attendees is about a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 ratio. And so we had our members join each of the tables during lunch and during some of the breakouts. They're standing around to answer questions, talking to people, who used to be, whatever. That was one of the feedback pieces that we received as well. Was the way that was that. The other 2, and Terry was really instrumental in this, was when folks signed up, the attendees signed up, they said, what part of the county are you from? Are you from, I don't even know what the words like, 4X area, the Clayton area, the Cleveland area, what? McGee's Crossroads, right? Like several of the areas, and she tried to sit those people together in the different tables so that you're around some like-minded people. That has helped me a lot as a beekeeper, like John doesn't live far from me, and I rely on him heavily with my bees, you know. It's helpful when you have someone that's closer to you. So we tried to see people, and that was, thank you to Terry, that was something that you guys really awesome, appreciated that, so. Looks like she's pointing at Mr. Jones, saying that's, it's his. She's giving the credit to you. All right, so that was some of the feedback, some of the good feedback that we got. Some of the feedback on some things that could be improved. So there was a glossary, somebody mentioned giving the glossary, we did provide that to attendees, but it was after the class. I think that's something next year, we're gonna make sure that we have it printed out and have it as part of the welcome packet. So as everyone walked in the door, they received that welcome packet that had everything they needed for the class in it. We're gonna try to put some other things in that to be, just provide a little more help to the attendees and stuff like that. The videos, Rick and Mr. Kent, I think those two have gotten together, and there's a videographer. They're working on something. I'm sorry. You can speak to it if you want to, but some stuff with the videos in that aspect to try to help get some more videos of our apiary, how you do a hive inspection. It's easier, I think we all go on YouTube and Google how to do something. It's easier when you watch it than having someone stand up here and point to a picture and tell you what to do. So we're gonna try to create some of those videos and things like that to help out, and that'll help out with the club in general. Yes, ma'am. Oh. Yep.
While she's, doing that, videoing what you're doing in the house, I broke down and got me one of these new iPhone, 16 Pro Max. It's supposed to be like the coolest picture taking video to get it. But I'm an Android guy, I don't even know how to use this thing. But I'm having a hard time learning how to use it, but I am learning how to use it. While she's done everything, but, I went out, set it all up on my tripod, hit the record button, looked at it, twisted a little bit to get it just right, and did not know that I turned it off. So what we did was we introduced a virgin queen. So Brenda and I are working on doing some queen rearing, and I was like, this would be a great video for these guys. So I'm going to video introducing the virgin queen into the queenless, hopelessly queenless colony. Right? Normally we would put them in there and let them stay in there for a few days. And miraculously, I saw on YouTube that you don't have to do that. A virgin queen, you can just turn her loose in there, as long as they're hopelessly queenless. She'll walk right in and they'll start loving them. Guess what? That's exactly what they do, but I have no evidence. Turned it off.
Ken,
Yes.
what we've got is, we've got a fairly professional.
Oh, I know this, yes.
He's agreed to help and photo you doing one.
Perfect.
So you won't have to rely on that 16 too long.
Cool, give them $5. I'm not ready to.
Hey, Ken, is that before the maiden flight?
Yes, this is a virgin queen, so we, pull, calf queen cells from the colony that get into swarm mode. Because I decided I want to go out of town. And I come back and take care of what I was supposed to take care of, and guess what they did? They do swarm cells, only about 12. So my wife got out all but 2, we took the queen, got out all but 2, she carried on with the incubator. And even that night, I believe it was right around this, and 20 birds that night. And I went right straight to the shop next morning, put one in the hive. I didn't video that one. And then 2 more popped out, so I had a couple more that was queenless, so I went down and I pulled all the queen cells out. Dropped her in there, she walked right down. We're waiting 2 to 3 weeks now to see if she'll make sure.
All right, so Thank you. I think I'm taking care of the video.
Got a
So,
question? We take questions yet?
yes, yes, go ahead, Carmen.
Hold on. Just,
He's got a microphone for you, so everybody can hear.
Do you know what temperature and humidity you put the incubator at?
92.2 is what we're in front of the incubator at. It's a little small. It's very small. I don't remember exactly what the name of it is. But we took the rollers out that rolls the eggs, took that out. She puts them in there, 92 point whatever, 2, I guess it is. And she keeps just a wet sponge in there. She checks it daily, keeps water on a wet sponge. I don't know if we even know what the humidity is. But it's working very well.
All right, moving on to some of the feedback that we received. We got the video, focusing on the beginners, what the beginners need, as well as some of this other. We got a couple of those different ones. I think, next year we're gonna try to have like a one-pager or something like that, so that if you truly are a beginner and you're not as concerned about getting your certification or something like that, you just want to keep these, perhaps have something that's a little more in tune to that, so that you've really got a list of do A, B, C, D. You know, first step is come to our class, maybe get information and do stuff like that, you know, and then kind of go from there. So, we'll try to put that in the welcome packet. This is the food, please. We deserve better food. I think we've come to an agreement that, the person that left that feedback left it, the same, sheet that had a comment about Kent, so we think that they're trying to target him. We're just saying no. In a funny way, not like. I think they were trying to be sweet.
Obviously, it's like barbecue.
We have barbecue plates and chicken plates. You could choose, either one. One of the feedback was a vegetarian option. We can look into that next year. Right now, we're getting a pretty good deal on food, and so we can kind of try to approach that up front, say like, hey, this is what we're having, you're welcome to bring on food, you know, if it doesn't, I know there's a lot of people have dietary restrictions for a multitude of reasons, you know, so if this doesn't, you know, this is what we're providing, if it doesn't kind of fit within, some of your needs to bring your own, say that, so. Going over basically the order of the B school and what order it is, we're looking again at how we can do things better as far as arrangement. And I think there's always going to be, you have to look at the whole big picture, right? There's always going to be, no matter how it's arranged, some question here and there. I think with this one, it's like, well, you know, perhaps we have breakouts earlier in the morning versus in the afternoon and provide some of that. So again, I don't have any answers for that, but we're definitely looking at how we can arrange to do a better job next year.
I'd like to make a comment to that.
Yes, sir. Can you slide this?
They can hear me.
Okay.
Some of the,
Can't hear you.
some of this is, you have to understand what's going on before you can get into the equipment and that type of stuff. You need to know the bee biology, you know, how the hive's organized before you get into equipment, honey extraction, and that type of stuff. So that's why it was driven to the afternoon, is because we needed to get that basic information out to everybody so they understood the whole concept before we get into equipment. I know the tendency, everybody's focused on equipment. Be truthful with you, that's the last thing you need to be focused on. The most important thing is understanding the bees and the bee numbers. And then once you understand that, then equipment's secondary. You can have bees in a cardboard box. We've seen them in toolboxes. We've seen them in all sorts of places. So, you know, the equipment's not the most important.
Another thing too with the arrangement is because we did the breakout sessions after lunch. Because it is a long day, even if you are not actually doing anything, you're just sitting there, it is a longer day, so once we eat, sometimes we need to move around to stay alert. Hopefully they're not fall asleep, but stay alert, so. Again, kind of, there's kind of several reasons for that, but we can always look and see, you know, if something else makes sense next year. Some of the other, we commented on the handicapped, again, it's in Johnston County, we have to.
And typically, we refer to it as a handicap accessible high,
Excuse me,
but
thank you, sir.
that is long verbiage, that typically gets shortened when you're talking quick. That's typically referred to as a handicap accessible high or the horizontal.
Thank you, Sid. Everybody here feels?
And to my knowledge, it's the only one in the state.
Yeah, I think it is, and that is something important to mention too, that it is the only one in the state. So John was real instrumental in actually building the hive and being able to put it up there. And then Seth and some of his processors as well were very instrumental in actually creating the space for it, laying the concrete pad. And,
That would be Marshall Moore, the master gardener.
right.
What is Marshall's official title?
Consumer horticulture agent.
Okay.
Master gardener ranger also works.
He laid that whole area out up there and made it happen. All we did was provide the bees and the hives. That Marshall Moore, that's a beautiful area up there, all sorts of fruit trees.
Yeah, so there is a lot to thank there, and having been to a few other ag buildings in the state, I will have to say, not just for the apiary and the bees that we have, but just the grounds in general. It's thank you, Seth. Thank you to you and your colleagues for providing that for us. So it's really nice. It's a really nice facility. More collective information, this was something, and I hesitate with this one, I'm not really sure how to specifically answer it here, like how we say like, well, I use this and you use that, and how many people use this. And I say that because one year I used internal feeders, and the next year I used the external feeders, right? So even if you say I use this or I use that, it could change it could change in a couple months. So that's we could try to see what we could get, you know. I think that's one of the things you just have to ask and talk to people, talk to some of the club people, and sometimes it's based on your own situation, you know, like where your bees are might dictate some of the equipment that you have, or that you use, or something like that, you know. Did your bees get robbed a lot? Well, maybe what kind of internal feeder versus if you don't really have that much of a problem with that, maybe the external feeder is okay. It's very situationally dependent, I guess. I hate to give that answer, but it depends. So, yeah, we touched on the food a little bit. Slowing down during the presentations. And I actually heard that as well, but it's a lot for one day. Again, we have to go by, in order to offer the opportunity to have certified beekeepers, we have to go by the NC State Beekeepers Association's curriculum. Their recommendation is to have a much lengthier bee school, whether it's several days or several evenings for several weeks, or it's a much lengthier time period. So we're really condensing a lot. I have to see where Conway goes. There you are. So he presented the intro and some of the beginnings beekeeping stuff. And I think our initial slide deck was over 100, and we had to reduce it down to what? 15? 15. So yes. So again, that was his section, and she's got a question. That was his section. We reviewed some of the others with the more practical uses. We didn't condense nearly as much because it wasn't there. So, yes, ma'am.
My question is that you said they got a packet when they came that day. They had not had anything beforehand. Is that correct?
There may have been some information emailed to them before.
before, but not much, no.
Because I was thinking like with the glossary and so forth, maybe they really didn't know the terms. And maybe if that could be put together and emailed to them, like a week or so before they came, then they could kind of review it. And then when they came, they might have some questions, they might feel like a little more connected to the whole situation.
That's really good idea.
Also, keep in mind that the State Beekeepers Association certified curriculum is on the website. It's available to you anytime you want to go look at it. And, I would recommend, to review that.
That's NCSB.
No, it's on our website. It's on the members section of our website. And also, I think the journeyman study materials out there too.
It is on our website, but it's also on the State Beekeepers Association website as well, so. I think just letting people know that information that she said a week prior, that's probably a really good idea. We can send those that have signed up links or information ahead of time. We can still have a welcome packet, but definitely send them that information ahead of time. Other than that, are there any, any other comments before I move on to the next? All right, how did you hear about us? So, yes, ma'am.
Make a recommendation for folks to, maybe purchase, prior to attending, and encourage them to start looking through it, like Beekeeping for Dummies is an easy one, and some of the other ones that are out there that are really, really very good at explaining, breaking things down in really basic terms. Because they, most people who start out don't know where to go with good reference.
So books to read, glossary of terms, basically everything that's in kind of the welcome packet. So, yes, it's a good idea.
All right, the last thing we have is, how they found out about us. So, a couple of people said Fran, Kent, internet search. See how many people said that. 6 people said it was from Fran. 11 said it was an internet search. And again, we did not receive, I think there were only 24 surveys returned back to us. So I know not everyone that was here filled out a survey and turned it in, which is okay. There were also a lot of couples that attended the class, so perhaps they filled it out as one and submitted it, right? But if you see the numbers being a little bit less than what you would expect, that's why we didn't get everything back. It was something we encouraged to fill out, but it absolutely was not mandatory. So, Facebook, Marshall Warren, Michael Bulliett, the signs, this was something new that we did this year. We had signs, we actually had road signs that several people put out there. John and Rick, several people put them out. So I want y'all to know that the extra signs because it's how a couple people found out about us.
And that may have caused them to do the internet search. We don't know. We didn't break that down exactly.
True, because there were some people that had 2 circles, and I just picked the first one, so you're right. But there were signs, and we also had we had business cards, and then we had, like I said, I said it's called the medium signs. It's not signs that by the side of the road. It's not business cards, but like this size sheet of paper, and all of them had a QR code on it, so people could just kind of look at their phone and go there. They were pretty. Yeah, here it is. It's a pretty simple sign. Very simple, right? It's like, do you want to learn or not? And never not. Do you want to learn, and then do you hard and that was something new this year, and thank you. They did. They did, but I did not. I'm not sure anybody involved.
Not saying that they were, no, they did, they laminated them, put them on their vehicles, I know I put mine up at work and mine too, stuff like that, so. Anyway, what else does anyone else have any comments, suggestions, thoughts?
Ryan Tucker. Yeah, I was at the school. I would say just, everyone probably has a different opinion about the order of events, the glossaries. Honestly, for an 8-hour class, there's no way reading a book before I come to an 8-hour class. I expect to kind of get what I'm getting from 8 hours of school. I probably, maybe other people would, and I can see why you would expect them to, because they want to be into this, but I wouldn't do it. My only suggestion is when you format it for a blank slate. I was a complete blank slate when I showed up. Didn't know what frame was, clean excluder, super, nothing, right? So you guys are very immersed in this world for a very long time, decades, many of you. I don't think you realize it when it just comes out of your mouth, but no one at my table, we had to like ask each other, what is that? What's that? What's a frame? I don't know what a frame is. I just showed up, right? So I'm just kind of, just like, whatever you say, you might need to explain. It's okay to do things the way you did it, but assume you're talking to a blank piece of canvas who knows nothing, because I knew nothing. It's just a little confusing. I don't think the order matters as much, just making sure that the very specific terms that a non-D person wouldn't know or explained, or there's a visual, you've got a hive up there, show them, here's a frame, here's a box, here's a soup, here's a green excluder. So now I've got a visual, okay, I might not remember it, but I've got a reference point in my head, so then it sort of makes more sense. That was it. Just kind of imagine you're talking to somebody dumb like me, who knows nothing, right? I have no idea what I'm looking at or talking about, but I want to learn, that kind of.
Yeah, no, that's a good comment, we'll definitely do that, and I agree, because some of the curriculum we were given was I'll be honest with you, even I thought it was pretty complex, so. Thank you for that, I wrote it down.
Maybe you can make a survey of the participants before time to see what their level is.
And kind of share it with the speakers, so they know, like, are they speaking to mostly new people, or these people have the guys already, so they can kind of gauge what their audience is.
Hey, Chris.
When they were applying to attend B-School, you mean? Yeah, that's good.
It could be like, I know when they sign up, there's a couple things that they have to sign, it can be something like what you're.
Well,
I'm an expert, or I'm a newbie.
when they sign up online, there's a note there as to what your, a blank to fill into your experience. So, all we need to do is go look at that sign up. It should be there already, we just need to go look at it. We're not doing that.
Or ABCD.
Pardon?
ABCD, give them a choice.
Click on it. There you go.
ABCD, when they're filling out their application to go to the B-School, A, do you have any experience, like a 0 to 6 month experience or less? Do you have a year? Do you own bees? Are you starting from scratch?
Right.
I'm a baby bee, or I'm a queen bee.
I was gonna vote in just a minute, because we have somebody in the room that does multiple bee classes. Like, what bunches of them a year? Chris, he does it from Johnston County, community college. Hey, but will you take the microphone?
Mr. Blue right here.
If you don't mind speaking on this, you have numerous amount of students in your classes. How do you handle your inexperienced plus experience?
So I think that you get the knowledge better or more in depth when it's delivered over time. That when it's all in one day, this typical
example is a fire hydrant's worth of information, you know, and you can't drink it. You know, it's something you need to drink, you know, with a straw and slow over time. So the one that we do at the community college is spread out over 10 weeks. And at least 2 of those times are generally for working with the bees hands-on. So you still got, you know, 8 hours, 8 different 2+ hour classes, you know, 16 hours of classroom material. But then again, I do think the time that you spend with the textbook, it all pays back. You know, the time you spend on the textbook, the time you spend going over the information slowly is worth it in the long run for the beekeeper. And then when you're doing the 1-day class, I think that if people go into it open mind, that this is just introductory, and there's so much more that I have to learn through whatever method they choose, then they're going to become a better successful beekeeper out of it. Because if they just try to use the information from the 8 hours and then just go at it, there's going to be a lot of blanks and, you know, missed information, I think.
Keep in mind that our program isn't just a 1-day class. From that perspective, we have bee basics every month, probably 10 months a year. So you need to come to those because we're going over things that are relevant. And that's one way we can add to your knowledge, because as Chris says, that fire hydrant's wide open and you can only drink with a straw. My next comment is, I would say that glossary that we sent you, if you just sit down and read those items and read the definitions, that'll go a long way to helping you. And we probably need to have them do that before the next school, because that's one of the best ways to learn is just go through the glossary. I think that people will pick up a lot more that way. And it was something we missed, and that we didn't have a glossary, and we put it out afterwards.
Yeah, to comment on John's, we did, I think this area probably came up in your section, it's like as far as club resources. And there are some actions in the state, North Carolina State Beekeepers Association manual to do. One of them, for example, is how to install them, right? We did not do that at bee school, you know. That was part of the bee basics from March, I believe. It's March to the next meeting. So that's why we do encourage our attendees, which along with the school, you get membership to our club for a year. But come to those meetings, you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to have more information. It's going to be reiterated multiple times over and over. You're going to have a different seasonally dependent bee basics, and that's usually held over. I think it's always held over in the kitchen now, right? It's always over in the kitchen, right? And that's going to show you how to do some of these day-to-day things. We also have, and this is part of the bee school, and you're welcome to attend, is who's is managing the apiary now. And so he has open hive days, so you can come out and he'll do a varroa check with you, an inspection, all kinds of things. I can't even name all the things that he does with you. I know when I first started, one of the things they said was, come kill our bees, not yours. Which, you know, sometimes you don't do a varroa check, but that's another part of the bee school. It's just not, it is just that day, it's winter time, but there's so much more resources out there to tack on. It's like, you know, you have to participate. But that is something that I kind of want to work with you. These are not fix it, forget it. You know, they require management. Yes, did you have something? Okay.
So on that note of the apiary manager, I'm not by myself. John helps out a lot, Nathan helps out, and there's a lot of guys in here. May's been coming around. Really, there's a lot of us put a lot of effort into the open hives. So encourage you when you see an open hive or you want an open hive, nag us. If you want to come to one, you need one, you feel like you need time in the hive. Maybe we just don't have time to do it, but you can come to my apiary Or you could, we could meet up here and we go through one time if you're having questions. All right, and that's what we're, a club for. Call your club and just talk about what you need. If you're starving for something, let us know. We'll be glad to help.
They're, these ladies and gentlemen around here are more than happy to help you out. There's apiary open holidays. They have some during the week, during the middle of the day for folks at that time work better for them. They also have some on weekends for those that, you know, work your typical work hours during the week, anyway, multiple different times, so that depending on your schedule, you can try to attend those. And I will say they've always been very gracious if none of those work and you really do want to come out and do something or whatever, you know, these folks are phenomenal to work with you, help make that happen. So.
One other comment is Terry took over the Beekeepers Corner from me at the first of the year. And about, I guess it was late February or March, she identified to me the fact that we were talking over everybody's heads. And it was kind of a eye-opener to me. And that's what precipitated the glossary going in. But when she hit me with, well, what's honey bounty? Then I realized that we talk over everybody's head. So my comment to you is, when we tell you something you don't understand, I don't understand, explain it to me. Because there are 5 other people in the room that don't understand either. Y'all gonna sit there and not understand, but if you call us on it, that's what you need to do.
Yes, sir.
I'm Ed Gilpin. I went to B school in the state of Indiana. At that time, Indiana had 2 state bee clubs. The Indiana Bee Club and the Indiana State Bee Club. That created a lot of problems for what I'm going to say. When you went to bee school in Indiana, you were assigned one-on-one with an experienced beekeeper. An experienced beekeeper was confined to someone that had kept bees for 5 years. Didn't make any difference whether you had 1,000 hives or 1 hive. As long as you've done it. And that works out really well. And usually the student goes to see the experienced ones read, and the other way around works also. Everything, whatever. They're still doing that.
We,
Works quite well.
right, we have discussed with the club having that type of one-on-one, like assigned folks a mentor. I think right now we're just a little resource constraint. We just don't have people that are.
That's why we have the apiaries here. We get 2 apiaries here.
Yeah.
So
We would like to offer it, we absolutely would, and the big, it's just, it's.
It's really neat that you got someone like that. That's why, that's how they try to pick one-on-one.
Right, and Miss Jerry did. Okay, Miss Jerry did, when she was arranging the table, that was part of her, the thought process and the having people in their communities, right? So then also bee club members that are from the area can join those tables as well, so you know, like, hey, I'm in your area. So, no, you're exactly right, I mean, like John's been my mentor, he's helped me out, I know he's helped Miss Hannah out and other people out that have come in along the way and stuff, so.
the issue you get into, for example, I live in Forks. For me to go to Clayton and help someone, it's gonna kill half a day for me. And I just don't have that resource. And a lot of people that are working, got kids, they don't have that resource. So the thought was we would push it into the apiary. Now, I do some local mentoring, but we just don't have enough people to have a real strong mentoring program. And that's always been a problem.
But yeah, all these new beekeepers, 2 years you're gonna be there.
We have a lot of new people going on. You're gonna be able to help. This is what I'm hearing, so. But no, thank you, I appreciate that, and I think we're fixing to wrap up here, we've got some other things, to discuss in the meeting. And then I will say, this was, I forgot to mention this was pretty interesting, those ladies, she's not here tonight, that actually attended B school. She had no interest in getting bees, well, I'm saying no interest, but very little interest in actually having bees herself. She attended to learn more about bees because her neighbor has bees and she wanted to know what she could do to support her neighbor, just as an individual community citizen. So I thought that was a pretty honorable thing to do. So
She was very nice.
yeah, exactly. I was pretty impressed with that. I'm not sure that I love my neighbors. I wish I could go to school for them, but, no, I thought that was awesome. So, if there are, we're still at all times open to comments, whatever, please just, let's do one more real quick. Where's Conrad? There's been a couple, Al gives the exam, there's been a couple opportunities, I think there'll be a couple
We'll
more.
be talking about that here in a little bit.
Never mind, I'm so sorry, it's coming up in just a minute. So, all right, and I'm going to stay and turn it over to you. Okay, here comes Mr. Reed.
Done with us.
Y'all are.
Yes, you're
Free to
dismissed.
go.
Sorry.
Dismissed.
Okay, next thing we're gonna do is new member introductions. I know we have some new faces here tonight. You'll lower up your hand. I'll, take the microphone, they introduce yourself.
My name's Jack, I was here at the last meeting, so I'm still technically new. I'm with the, Hives for Heroes program in the VA, so I have a mentor that I've been seeing, working with for about the last year. I just got my own beehives, I'm excited about that. But yeah, we, take care of about 30 or 40 hives. So, yeah, I'm just here to learn as much as I can. I've noticed too, I drove around the other day, and there's somebody down the road that's got like 50 hives in their backyard, and just a little tiny sign that says, you know, honey for sale, so it looks like there's quite a few people. Thank you.
Any other new members, first timers?
Hello, my name is Alexander. My father, our first year Beekeepers with Clayton. We've got 2 hives. We started from nucleuses. And we're just here to learn and meet everybody.
Thank you for coming. Next on the agenda, and I'm gonna just go ahead and take it over from Ken with the bank balance. At the moment, we're showing $13,269. We got a few things that haven't cleared. We just recently renewed our insurance. Some of that money is from last month's raffle, things of that nature.
Hey, Rick, $100 back from Kitty, I put it in my face.
Okay. Another thing we want to talk about tonight, we will vote on it next meeting, but put in your head tonight, we're looking at maybe a bylaw change. The club bylaws right now reads that the signatories on the checks that the club writes would be the president, vice president, and secretary treasurer. Last year it was a little easier because we had co-presidents, secretary and treasurer were divided spots. They're back together now. So we only have 3 folks that can sign checks, work schedules, things like that make it sometimes difficult to get the checks signed. So what we're asking is that we allow for 2 more signatories. Those will be appointed members of the board. Right now we're looking at probably Adam Pendergrass and Jim Dempster as our next, adding those folks. It'll be to the discretion of future presidents who they appoint or asked to do that. It just gives us all of our checks require 2 signatures. No one person can write a check. There were some issues in the past where somebody said, hey, write a check to so-and-so, turns out it's a scam.
Those things are in the past. Now it's it requires two signatories. And sometimes it's hard for two people, when you've only got three, to get two people together. Case in point, the other night, they actually owed me, I paid for the labels. Well, I didn't feel comfortable signing a check to myself along with someone else, just because it could look funny. So we're trying to avoid that. We're not using the elected board members at this time because they audit the books at the end of the year. So we don't want them signing checks. So just think about it. We're gonna have this on as a ballot next month. And we'll bring it to the club for a vote. All right, announcements. Talked with the folks here at the Ag Center early last week, and the closet that we share, that we store our stuff in, is shared by a number of groups out here. Things are getting a little out of hand, not necessarily it wasn't on all our doings, but we're gonna get in there. I'll probably be putting out an email before too long. We're gonna need to label some honey. It's already jarred, but you gotta get the labels on it, and we're gonna kind of straighten up our part of the closet, making it easier on Jennifer, the lady at the desk, if you need to come borrow something. She'll know where it is. Their guys are talking about taking a picture and having a catalog where you say, I need to borrow this and this and this and this. We got the Estabats in there, or an Estabat. We got the other vaporizers for your treatments that you may want to sign out in the future. So having all that stuff together, having the proper mask, the PPE for that would be kind of important. Yes, ma'am.
What's this about?
What's
this about?
Come to the open aviary days. But that is a vaporizer treatment. It's a battery powered vaporizer to do acrylic acid or varroa treatments. It's done later on in the year, usually. It's a rather expensive piece of equipment. That's why we have purchased one that you can sign out versus you having to go buy one. If you get into beekeeping long and hot and heavy, you're going to want one of your own anyway. But this will get you. Now, that one does require special training that we will work with you to get you trained should you want to use it. There's a list that they have of who can sign that out. Okay, let's see. All right. Also, we will no longer be storing food and drink in the closet. Cans have rolled out of the boxes get old. They're worried about things getting in there. The other day I threw away candy canes that were from our Christmas party. Okay.
Please share.
So, the drinks that are on the table, the canned drinks, the bottled water, please take it with you when you leave tonight. I brought some 2 liters. Y'all drink what you want. I'll take the rest home. We will continue that process. The Ag Center has said that they will supply us with cups, plates, utensils, coffee, creamer, sugar, where all that stuff was. Because what was happening is we had a little bit, and 4-H had a little bit, and Master Gardener had a little bit, and the employees had a little bit, and it was everywhere out here. So they're trying to consolidate all this stuff and give them more room. They are storing things in the kitchen, the catering kitchen. That need to be in that closet because that's rental space for them. So we're going to work on that and we're going to do our part to be gracious to our hosts. Next, at the last board meeting, it was brought up, and we will call for a vote tonight if y'all are okay with that. As you know, the raffles that we're doing last meeting, this meeting, and next meeting for the extractors. The money was to be donated to Ashe County Beekeepers. The proceeds from it, which everything's been donated, so we have nothing, it's all profit. And John Commerce donated that nice electric once a night. Before we draw, we'll probably give you one more chance to buy tickets. Really feel you need some. But what we voted on the other night, as a board, was to match the proceeds up to $1,000. We raise more than $1,000, we will match up to 1,000. We raise 800, we'll match 800 from the club funds. That money will also go to Ashe County, but it may go just a little bit later once we find out, like a bunch of hives have gone up. Wake County did an outstanding job of coordinating 100, right now it's up to 101 hives that is going to Ashe County. I think 86 have been delivered so far. There's one more trip going to be taking place in early June, so if anybody would like to donate a hive, they need to know this week, but not only did they lose hives, some of them lost their bare fences. Some of them, there may be some varroa-like treatments that they need, that this money will help them to get back on their feet. Daniel, if you'll kind of give a look-see too. All those in favor of matching the monies that we raffle, the raffle funds, up to $1,000 with club money, signify by raising your hand. All those opposed? I believe that one's going to go. So, okay, Ken, if you will make a note that that has passed, and once we know next month how much the money is, then we'll know what we'll be able to help them with. And like I said, right now, 101, 86 nukes have gone to Ashe County. 101 have been promised. I think there's 15 or 16 more promised as of today. They were looking to do 100. Of that 100, 10% came from Johnston County, which John, 5% was from him. But the club, we had enough bees. We've been catching swarms and stuff out here. I think we're up to 5 now. That we've caught right here in the apiary. There's one now. Okay, so another one. So Swarm Commander works, folks. So we donated 2 nukes out of the club, out of from here, just to help those folks out. There's a pretty nice, if you go to Ashe County's Facebook page, he did a pretty nice little talk. We are considered surrounding county, but he still talks about everybody helping them out. It's about $20,000 worth of bees that's been donated to them. So next on the agenda, we need apiary helpers and leaders. I know we've got some, we've got folks that show up. I'm gonna say a few things that folks haven't given me permission, but I would say it. John has had some health issues. He can't make everything. He's gonna step down as 4-H liaison after June. Ken has agreed to step up to do the 4-H. As a result, because he's got so much on his plate, he's gonna have to come out of the apiary as much. He's still gonna be here to help, but not as an apiary manager. So we need some folks one or two that may be willing to step up and help out. In that regards, I'll still be around and helping as much as possible on that base call. John will come when he feels like it. Nathan comes when he's available. And you can't be there all the time, but if you can, and it's a good way to learn, because not only do you have your tours, 2 or 4 or 5 or 8 guys in the house, you've got another 14 here that you can take care of. Except you don't have to pay for all that stuff. So, that being said, June the 14th is a special test day for the Master Beekeeper program. It's going to be in Greenville. If anybody wants to like go for their journeyman or Master Beekeeper, they're going to have tests as well as practicals that day, but you do have to sign up in advance. So you'll have to get with Eric Talley on the website. June 14th is also at Greenville. They're doing a queen rearing workshop. So if anybody that wants to sign up for that, it's a 1-day learn how to make queens. I told you a couple months ago, at the end of May, the State Beekeepers Association is needing any officer nominations. So if anybody would like to throw their hat in the ring for an officer to become an officer with the state, let me know. I'll pass it to the folks that need to know. Right now, on June the 9th, which will be our next board meeting, but on June the 9th, in here, at 6:30, we're going to do the certification prep test. If you think you might want to become a certified beekeeper, taking the test. Now, if you've taken Chris's class through Johnston Community College, you were given the test. If you took our class, just been hanging, if you want to be certified by the state, Beekeepers Association is going to have a test prep. All right, so you'll know what to do. Then the next Monday on June the 16th, before me basic, so it's 6 o'clock, those folks that would like to take the test, and it's not a long test, I think you said 5 minutes was the shortest and 15 was the longest. As far as folks taking the written test, we will offer it that night before the next meeting, if you would like. You must be a member of the State Beekeepers Association. That is their rule, not ours. You can take the written test without being a member, but your score can't be sent in until we have a membership number. Oh, they can't even have a number. Okay. After you have completed the test and passed the test, we will work with you, folks in the apiary, individuals, anybody that is already certified can help you with your practical and help you get your complete certification. So just think about that. Results from the club that Adam had put out on our website. Right now, number 1 leading was tour and tasting at Starlight Meadery. We set that up for July the 25th. You were going to talk with the ladies. They're good to drive in. We will have at least 1 12-passenger van. We might talk them into 2 if we have enough folks. A lot of folks met us there last year, but it's a hoot, I can tell you.
If there is few people who justify taking a 15-passenger van, you will not take.
Okay.
If there's only like 2 people trying to drive in.
I can tell you we'll have enough to at least take 1 van.
Take one man.
Yeah. I can tell you that just from.
What's the date
That date is, July the 25th.
again? That's a Friday.
Huh?
It's a month long.
Is it? Okay, I'm probably on the wrong month.
Okay, maybe the 26th?
The 26th, yeah. I told y'all I can't use a computer. So the 26th, the time, I'm actually still trying to get with them. Apparently they're very busy. They're not answering the phone to find out whether we want to do the 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Those are your 2 options. So we will either leave here at 12 or we will leave here about 2. Generally, we have followed up with a supper on the way back. we stop somewhere and eat, no big deal, it's just in Pittsburgh. Folks that wanna drive, drive. There is a taste testing and it's kind of fun. You're not gonna drink enough to get hammered, but they do have a bar there that you can buy from later. Number 2 on it was a cookout with fishing. We have that on the calendar for October the 11th, unless I picked the wrong date again. But it's a Saturday in October. We'll do the cookout. Right.
You good?
Okay. Right now it's gonna be the same place we've been the last couple of years.
Wildlife place.
Yes, the Johnston County Wildlife Association. That information will come out. We'll send that out when we do the sign up changes. It was pretty cool last year. We got to eat. The nice thing is it's outdoor. There's also an indoor, it's air conditioned. So you can get inside. And then we had somebody treat us to how to make mead. So we got to see that process. And then at the Christmas party, we got to sample the results. And that was pretty cool too. Again, not drinking enough for anybody to get hammered, but it was kind of fun to see what happens. Okay, the news we talked about, the mentorship program. As you know, it's up and running. Terry wanted a few minutes to talk to y'all.
Well, to answer your point, yes, we try to do what you're asking, to provide one-to-one mentorship, but a lot of times it's pairing up one mentor with 2. I know that Ken has 3. And so we want to do this in order to help a new beekeeper, support them in specific high problems, shorten the learning curve for them, to help them manage their colonies effectively and build confidence in doing it. And actually to foster inclusion when they come to the meetings here too. Like they know someone, you're welcome. We want to help you get involved if you want to. Also, it's to strengthen the bee population with healthy colonies because you're learning from really the creme de la creme of this club. I'm impressed with each and every one of our mentors, and if you're lucky enough to get one, you're doing really well. And obviously, it's to equip the new beekeepers with essential skills to become responsible stewards of their colonies and to fully appreciate the joys of beekeeping. And I heard one of the guys, one of the new beekeepers, and his son saying that they just enjoy watching them. And I don't know if you ever lose the thrill of just watching your bees out in front of their hives. Saying that, this is a perk for the club members, and so we encourage you to join the club, and then you get to enjoy that as a perk. And so if you are a new beekeeper and want to have a mentor, please see me afterwards. And if you're a member and would like to be a mentor, please see me also, and we'd love to match you up with some people. And one other thing I wanted to mention, Rick mentioned the queen rearing workshop in Greenville in June 14th. This is an excellent way to, this is like a cheat sheet in some ways. I'm talking with new beekeepers, I mean, especially, it's a way to learn another skill, another part of beekeeping. Whether you just use it as a hobby or you're going to actually use it in a commercial way later on. But the biggest benefit I've noticed in coming to these workshops, and it's an all-day workshop, is you are getting to know other beekeepers. You're getting to ask them questions. Every time I'm around a beekeeper, I pick up a new tip, a new piece of information that I need. And so I think this is just another one. And so if you want more information on it, it is on the state Bee Club, the North Carolina State Beekeeper Association. But I also have the information here if you want to see me afterwards. Thank you.
one thing to mention before I forget, we have to clean up all the tables and chairs tonight. So if we could get some help, that would be much appreciated. We also talked at the last meeting that we had approved, we're gonna get a couple of picnic tables. Gonna put one out by our building and one down at the acre. That being said, the one stipulation that the Ag Center asked was that we put down fabric so that we can control the weeds under them, so we have to use up all the groundskeepers. The machine that they used to use to like sew it into the sides doesn't work so well anymore, so we're gonna need some younger folks. Yes.
You can rent the tool from Home Depot and, you play, that does the same thing.
Do you know about what it runs? I was just trying to figure if it's worthwhile to only do two. I'll check into it.
I don't know what, I think it's like.
Okay, that's well within the budget. Yeah, and that would be easier to deal with because.
Yeah, come on now. We need to wait for July 8th to do that too.
Yeah, but this is the guy that knows what the big guys are talking. So, that being said, we are gonna be moving forward with that, soon. Also, we've had donated that we will be getting picked up this week, a new, equipment box to go down in the B yard. The one that's there, it's just got a little age on it. It's still working, it still holds the equipment. But we've had one that's donated, that's metal. Ken and I are gonna get together, we're gonna be white, get it moved down there. If anybody knows what a job box is, where you put tools in, that's what it is. We're gonna paint it white and maybe ask members, 4-H, really doesn't matter, to come decorate it for us. Just with bee stuff, flowers, things of that nature. Future events that we're gonna need help with, well, two coming up pretty quick is the 4-H Monday, which is June the 11th. John's gonna be heading that up. And then that Friday, there's an advanced, because some of the folks have taken Fun Day twice already. So he's gonna do an advanced class for those 4-H kids on the 13th. So there'll be some sign-up geniuses going out for those folks that are willing to help. I think the 11th was
9 a.m.,
9 to 1.
8:30 to 1.
8:30.
And then, Fridays, 6 to about 7:15, 7:30.
So it'll be an evening for if somebody can do one or wants to do both. If you're going for your journeyman or your masters, that counts as credits, service credits. We've also got Bentonville coming up. We've got White Memorial Church coming up. Those are on the calendar. And we'll get a farm report from Seth. Things have been growing, so he's finally got something to tell us.
Yeah, it's a different kind of month. We got a lot to talk about. So, as we're kind of past Mother's Day here, we're starting to get towards the end of strawberry season. It's going to start tapering off. Depending on what we get with the weather this year, we might see it go into June a little bit, but that depends on how many 95-degree days we have. But as the strawberries are going out, some of the earlier season hybrid variety blueberries are coming in. The rabbit eyes are not far behind those. And pretty much everything that's been planted in the field is starting to at least flower, if not bear fruit. Summer squash are starting to come off, and once we get some more heat, they'll be coming off in force. The same can be said with your melons and cantaloupes. Those are starting to flower. Any of your tomatoes and peppers that have been planted have started to flower and maybe put on some fruit. Maybe it's not ripe yet, but we're getting there. And tobacco's been set. Sweet potatoes are going in the ground. Beans are being planted. It's that time of year, so it's going to be busy from here on out. And that's it.
Our speaker for June meeting will be Jennifer Keller, NC State, talking about the bee lab and
research projects that's got going. Also give us an update on where the actual structure of the lab is.
I think if I'm not mistaken, somebody said you found that doll that bee suit went on. I would like to give you the option to take that doll with you. Because that thing creeps me out every time I go in there. So,
Startled by that dog.
yes.
That's a haunted closet.
Now, I did suggest to Brent and Seth that they just move it around to different offices. If you don't want to just leave it tonight. Yeah, if it shows up, I quit. You're gonna be president. We're gonna keep the suit and everything, but I just, since you found the doll, I give you an option before we, it's at your discretion. Last thing, Ken, if you can give us an apiary report.
So the apiary is, having some trials and tribulations, we're trying to get back together, with all the help for our, June 4-H meeting. We're trying to get some 5 frames up on the Master Carter area, along with all Queen Wright colonies, the horizontal line, get it back to Queen Wright. And we're gonna change the 10 frame to an 8 frame, and then to 5 frames. We'll have, when I say 5 frames, everybody knows what I'm talking about, so Duke. So it's 5 frame deep, Duke, if you will. That's what we're gonna put up in the Master Carter area. It makes it really easy for 4-H to learn from. Not as overwhelming as 5 frame, that horizontal line. Short 45, 30 frame piece. We'll be working on that, get everything clean right. Be looking forward to having some y'all back.
And we had also talked about that we're gonna get in that building, clean it out, get rid of some stuff or organize some things. So when we put that out, come on out. You never know what you might get to leave with.
You know, that's exactly right. The building out there has a lot of stuff stored in it that we do not use. We're probably never going to use it. And if you come help, there's no telling what you might take with you, as long as you're helping.
All right. But thanks everyone for coming tonight. You got one last chance if you want to buy any tickets. Go back.
Go around the next again, get my ticket, put it in.
We don't have just a few left. If you want to get some given, we're going to do a drawing here in a few minutes. Mindy, would you ask your daughter if she's still around to draw? Ken, let Mindy's daughter draw.
I think what we'll do is once we take the big suit off, we'll set her in here. The head falls off, the wig falls off, that thing is.